Okay, this is what I get for opening one beer and starting the doom scroll. First short of the day. I could start bawling my fucking eyes out. Honest to God. It was, so Emily King, right? She's usually, she gives like relationship advice based on, she's kind of biased in favor of the males because there's a lot of males out there who've gotten treated like shit, gold dug, just outright been treated nasty. And the craziest fucking thing is I'm a female who's been treated fucking nasty by several men, and I'm sitting here and I agree with her. But one of the things is like one of the things she said was women get warned not to do that because they'll be put in a bad spot. One of the things that I had to deal with my ex was I would do things for him and he did not appreciate it. And if he did appreciate it, it was just a common acknowledgement, but it wasn't a full appreciation. So, for example, so what this short was that she was saying, this woman went and made a birthday cake for her husband or boyfriend or her husband, right? And he was like, wow. And she was like, I made it from scratch. And he was like, he's like trying to like bite into it without getting a plate and a knife and all that. And he's like, this is incredible. And she was like, why? Whatever. And she was like, her heart was breaking because what he had said was, I've had birthday cakes before, but no one's ever made one for me. Right? My mother makes birthday cakes for us. She asks us, what kind of cake do you want? And we tell her. So, like one year, I wanted chocolate mayonnaise cake with chocolate peanut butter frosting. One year, I wanted a baked Alaska. One year, I just wanted a gooey butter cake, the chocolate one. Um, One year, I wanted cheesecake. She's asked us what we want, and she'll make it for us. And that's our birthday gift, and that's all I want. Sometimes she'll go above and beyond, but and get me something to accompany the cake, but I don't expect that. I don't even expect the cake 9 times out of 10. It's like I'm not gonna get it for a week after my birthday, right? And that's because of my work schedule and everything. But this guy that I was with, I never had a chance to celebrate birthday with him because he had discarded me. And his birthday came and went, and then he hoovered me back a couple of days later. Yeah. So I couldn't put forth the effort of making him a birthday cake. Yeah, on his birthday. Um, and so there's a lot of things that I had done, just but it just falls short in the capacity that yeah, in one aspect, yeah, you go above and beyond for men that don't appreciate you. Yeah, you are going to feel like it's not worth it. If they're treating you like shit, why would you go above and beyond to do something like that? Now, that man, he probably treats her like fucking gold. And she wanted to do something nice for him for his birthday, knowing that he wasn't going to fucking come back on her and say, why didn't you just fucking buy one? Something like that. Mm-hmm. And the point she made was he hadn't even tasted it yet. He didn't say, store boughts are better. It's just the principle is the effort and the time that she put into it. Now, a lot of the regret that I kind of talk about in depth, about narcissists and how one unappreciative they are for your existence. They want you there, but then they treat you like dirt while you are, right? And then it's all that wasted fucking effort. That's what bothers me the most. All of my kowtowing and doting over this man and his child was a wasted fucking effort. I think that's what hurts the most. That I had invested so much fucking money and time into loving this person and trying to earn their love in return, that now I have quite literally, over the course of 2 years, I have just thrown in the fucking towel. It's like, I am not even going to bother. They're going to have to worship the motherfucking ground I walk on before I lift a motherfucking finger for anybody ever again. Period. Three and a half, 4 years with my daughter's father, wasted. Outside of her, she's the only thing I got good out of it. 3 years with the other douchebag. Almost 2 with this one. Well, no, it was a little over a year. I'm glad. But that was a little over a year of raunchy fucking sleep deprivation and emotional fucking torture that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Any of the shit that I've dealt with those 3 fucking assholes. You know what's funny? The 2 men that I married and the reason why we divorced has got really not a whole lot to do with the narcissistic abuse, even though my first husband, he was abusive. But he wanted somebody submissive to like cater to him because he needed a mommy. But he was just emotionally immature. He wasn't full of himself. I think I humbled that in him. It was like, yeah, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing unless you can fucking provide. And I was the provider in that relationship. That's what humbled him. My second husband, he was turned out to be a racist bigot. And it was a characteristic, and he was not very refined as far as manners go. I'm not the most refined person when it comes to, manners, but there are some things you just don't do in public. Yeah. You save that for home and in the bathroom kind of crap. It's not public, it's not fucking on advertisement for around the people that you fucking care about either. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I was like, I can't deal with that. And then, yeah, so those are unforgivable sins for me. And they weren't evident until after. The obnoxiousness of the behaviors were not evident until after I was married to him. My first husband, that was pretty much a strategy. He was abusive. He had threatened my family. I married him, got him as far away from the fucking family as I could get, and then I divorced him. under the protection of the military. Yeah, he's a son of a bitch. But he wasn't narcissistic, he was just fucking abusive in general. Hot-tempered, emotionally immature. Possessive. But not narcissistic. He wasn't diggy. He wasn't neggy. He wasn't gaslighty. He wasn't temperamental without a fucking reason. Kind of thing. Right? It was just the temperamental with the reason was above and beyond, and he took it out on me. That kind of shit. So yeah, psychoanalyzing past relationships. Long-term ones. I got one boyfriend in there. I can't even hardly remark about him. The one thing that he did was like a carnal sin, and you put me in a financial strap, your ass is fucking done. And that's what he did. And he was fucking done. I wasn't playing that game. I'm not going back to living in my fucking car because of no man. I can assure you that. But yeah, what she's talking about, a lot of women, they get taken advantage of in those situations where they go above and beyond, but they're going above and beyond for the wrong fucking people. And a lot of these men, they don't understand why women are not going above and beyond. It's because they haven't figured out whether you're the right fucking person to go above and beyond for. I am now wiser for the wear. The Lord fed me my karma, and then he put me to the test afterward. I kicked that motherfucker to the curb. Actually, I saw his brother yesterday. His brother asked me, "You see my brother?" I was like, "No." And if he comes around, I'm going to punch him in the motherfucking face. I said, "Have you seen him?" He was like, "No, we're not on speaking terms." I said, "Probably for the same fucking reasons that I won't talk to him." He's like, "Yeah, pretty much." I said, "Yeah, you might want to keep an eye on your wife because she has a soft heart and she's probably supplying that little fuck. Giving him $10 here, $10 there, and dinner when you're at work. Because he's a piece of shit." She used to put her fucking foot down and say, "No, get gone. Fix your shit." Apparently, according to buddy at work who was friends with both of them, the wife and the brother, yeah, he said that they hadn't seen him. He said they haven't seen him since the weekend that you told him to fucking get gone and don't come back, don't even fucking ask me, don't call me, don't nothing. So they took up for you on that one. I said, "No. I had enough of this shit." It only took about 4 weeks to realize that he was a con artist, whiny, cryy, sympathy predator piece of shit. The only thing that helped me with was realize the crappy fucking drama that little peckerhead was feeding me helped me contrast and compare all of the bullshit that came out of the other one's mouth. Kind of like one of those epiphany aha moments. And it was like literally from that moment, I was like, I'm done. I'm not. One motherfucker pursues me, I am out. I'm like, no. I get pursued by shit. When I first started this job, I used to get pursued by the finishers. And then I kind of got pursued by a driver, but I wasn't interested. He had told one of our finishing supers that he was dating me, and I was like, no, we never dated. We'd go out, like as friends, we'd go ride bikes down to like a bar and hang out. But, we weren't like, lovey-dovey and, like holding hands wherever we went. We weren't dating. We were just hanging out, platonic friends with similar interests. We'd go shoot guns in the backyard, go ride the motorcycles, go hang out with the chickens and the dogs and shit because he had a farm, that kind of thing. There was nothing there for me anyway. I don't know what his intention was, but there was nothing there. I had one kid ask me, do you need a boyfriend? No, I'm old enough to be your fucking mother. Go. Bye. You ain't that old? Yes, I am. How old are you? I'll be like, yep. And then some. Usually foreigners looking for a green card. Pursued by the driver still to this day. One guy sat there talking a bunch of stuff. I talked to one of, my buddies who's actually a manager. And I was like, no. Because he's entertaining other stuff. And that is why I don't entertain him. Not to mention, I will never, ever, ever, ever get involved with anybody that fucking works here ever again. My dispatcher is already stressed out enough. And one of the biggest things that he has a problem with, and I know it is my fault because I'm the one who put my fucking foot down. And I got upper management involved with it, was if I'm on a job, that motherfucker will not be on it. I don't care what job it is. I don't care if it's night or day. I don't care if it's over there, up there, or down there. I don't want to see his truck or him anywhere fucking near me. And there was a couple of nights where they totally forgot. And they thought it settled down. And I called them. I said, are you going to keep him on this job? And they're like, oh shit, we forgot. I said, I don't care what you do with him. But wherever he's going to be, I will not be. So you pick your poison, figure it out. I don't care which job I'm doing as long as I am not loading and or passing him in any direction. He took it upon himself as soon as he saw me. Went over to the pit, washed it out, parked it, jumped in his truck, and went over to the shop. Went at the office. He's like, she gave me a look. And they're like, oh shit, we forgot. Yeah. He goes, yeah. We shouldn't have had you out there. It's like, yeah, take your ass to the fucking house. Go back home. Hold on a second. I gotta. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I had to. I went up to my favorite gas station and he started stocking my poison. So I go in there about once or twice a week. And when he runs out, I just use the grocery store. But yeah, I try to go in there. He's a good shit. I like them. Yeah, they're the type of people and be like, hey, how you been? They're like, hey. And he's like, oh, beer 30. I was like, beer 30. And I was like, I check out and he's like, have a good day. I said, love you, bye. And I fucking head out. They're just like, they're like, love you too. Yeah. Fucking Indians. Yeah, they're awesome. They're fucking awesome. I love them. His wife's son, and him. They're great. But anyway, so I had to put that 6-pack that I bought 2 days ago in the refrigerator. Yeah, I was drinking them warm, and it's just like it's just not doing anything for me. So anyway, I haven't decided what I'm going to eat for dinner yet, but I had a really good day. This morning was totally squirrely as fuck. I got out there. I waited 30 minutes at the gate. I got a call from dispatch after I called him. I was like, where are they? And he's like, I don't know. And he said, you're at the gate. I was like, yeah, I'm at the gate. Been here like 15 minutes, right? Where is my escort? Because they're real fucking anal retentive. I need a babysitter to travel inside this compound, right? So then he's like, they want you over at the other gate. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I said, I get over there. Well, while we're sitting there waiting for the phone call, I go out to the other truck. I said, maybe we should start a poker game. Tomorrow night, if we have to do this job, bring cards. You know, and we'll tell them, hey, ante up, you know. And so we've been out here 30 minutes. Fucking, yeah, we're playing Texas Hold'em. You want in? Because that's how long we waited. We could have gotten 5 games of fucking Texas Hold'em in there. Seriously, it was that bad. So we finally get into the job after we wait at the other gate for 20 more. And then this dingbat blonde bimbo fucking in a gator. I call them the gator minions. They escort us all over this fucking compound, right? She takes us the long way. And when I see the building, there's this one building they have, it's kind of like offices for the contractor, right? On top of a fucking hill, amongst all of these different tank trails and gravel roads, and some of it's paved and some of it's just dirt convenience, you know, whatever. We go by it and I'm like, the fucking gate that we sat at for 30 fucking minutes is right there. All we had to do was go up the road, take a left, and then take another right, and we would have been at the job. From the one we waited at first for 30 minutes. So the dude that was behind me, that I was making jokes about, let's play poker, and like, let's start a fucking board game. Bring a collapsible table or something. We'll sit there on fucking buckets, playing poker, waiting for these asshats to find their way back to the fucking gate, right? And he starts laughing. He's never been here before. He's never been to that fucking facility. So we get done. He's next to me. One of the guys that's overseeing the slump on the pump, he used to be one of our fucking mechanics at our shop, right? He's listening to this. The super comes up, he grabs my ticket, and he walks off. He doesn't get real fucking chummy with me yet until I leave. But the whole time that I am pouring out, I am ranting like a fucking banshee out my window at this guy that is pouring right next to me. We're sharing the pump, right? And I am going off, throwing the fucking common sense logistics of how fucked up that situation really friggin' is. So when I get done, this guy doesn't even know where the fucking washout is. I saw one of the trucks up on the hill. I went by memory in the dark. It is dark over there. I back all the fucking way out of this job. I get up there, I'm waiting for a minion to come around the corner. Nobody shows up. I wait about 2 minutes. It's like, I got concrete drying on my shit. I ain't waiting for your stupid asses. So I called my plant manager. I said, I am making my way over to where the washout, I think it might be. I said, I do not have an escort and I'm not fucking waiting on them. He's like, have at it. I said, I'm going to do whatever I need to fucking do and I'll beg for forgiveness later. Just let dispatch know. So if they get a phone call, I basically gave them the fuck you, I'm doing this myself because I'm sick of waiting on their asses. I've already waited enough tonight. I get over to the wash and I said, oh, and by the way, I'm not really sure if he knows where to go, but just let him know, go back the way he came and then look for me. I'm going to be perched on the corner waiting on him, and that way he'll know where to turn. He's like, fair enough. I was like, I got this. So I made my way over, washed out, perched on the corner, waited. Then they had 2 escorts for him, a water truck, the minion in the fucking gator, and then here's dude following them, right? I'm sitting there waiting. A water truck pulls up to me and he's like, you all set? I said, yeah, I'm waiting on my babysitter. He's like, that's a pretty good way to put it. He goes, I think it's stupid too. Follow me. I said, bring me down to gate 15. I'm out of here. That was the first pour. I had to go back there 3 times. By the second time, dude at the pump had gotten with the PM, and he comes up to me, and I'm like, what the fuck-ass fuckery is going on? And he is like, it's not us. It's them. And he points at the major plant, right? I'm like, oh my God. I said, and not to mention, that little twit that's driving that gator, you might want to drug test her. She needs fucking help. I think she got lost. He's like, what happened? I said, I waited down at 15 for 30 minutes, and then I waited over at 7 for 20. He's like, you're kidding. I'm like, no. And then when she brought us in, she brought us by 15. He's like, my God. I was like, yeah. And the pumps were fucking empty forever. And then while I'm pouring out my first pour, I start getting it, I'm checking this lump. A fucking skid steer comes in, tries to clean up the mess. I yell out the window. I said, hey, asshat. This fucker was empty for about 40 minutes. I know, because I was sitting outside the gate waiting for my escort. I said, you want to clean it? You can wait till after I fucking leave. He went, picked up his little bucket and fucking disappeared. Did not try to come back. And dude at the pump, because he knows me, because he's like, yeah. I know her. She can be vicious. Yes, I was. Oh, this morning I was a vicious bitch. Anyway, he started laughing. Told the PM what happened. PM come up to me. I'm like, hey, Mudface. And I grab paper towel. See, you must really love your job. He just started laughing. He was like, yeah, he was telling me. He's like, that's crazy. He goes, it's not us. It's them. I was like, well, I pretty much figured out the route. So just let them know I don't need their help. I will find my way through this and get this job done. I do not need a babysitter. I've had enough of that shit. He was like, fair enough. He just laughed. He was like, yeah, he told me he was about to fucking go off. I was pissed. So, yeah, everybody involved, they were, agreeing with me. I was like, can we get this done? I said, at this rate, we're not going to get done with this fucking job till 8 o'clock at night. I said, we started at 3. I didn't even get into the pump to start pouring. I was loaded at like 10 after 3 in the morning. I didn't even get in to start pouring until 4:15. Pour took about 10 minutes. I got washed down, got back, got another job. The same fucking place. Got in that way. I bypassed them all. I just went all the way up. And I was like, what fucking pump you need me at? Oh, well, they're moving on, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, which pump do you need me at? Oh, we're going to put you over there. I was like, all right, lead the way. Then after he's like, yeah, follow me. He gets in his little gator to take off so I can follow him. And the fucking tester guy comes down. He's like, yeah, I'm testing you. I said, not here you ain't. He's like, well, yeah, I've got to test you. You're batch this. I was like, your ass needs to follow us over to that other pump. And when I get set up and they're set up, you can test me and write your little notebook. You're not testing me here. I've got to travel another 1.5 miles to get over to that one because of where they want us to come in here. I said, I'm not opposed to you testing. I am opposed to where you want to. And it's not going to dry on my shit while I travel another 1.5 miles all the way up there waiting for the pump to set up. I said, we all need to unfuck this because it's the most disorganized arrangement I have ever seen in my entire life. You have a good night. If you need to test me, drive your ass over there. I'll drop it for you. And off I went, following the fucking gator. Another 1.5 miles. To the other side. Because it's this giant basin. One pump on one side, one pump on the other. By the time I had to go back there the third time, they basically just, you know where you're going. It's like, yeah, leave me the fuck alone. Y'all pissed me off at 3 this morning. It's now 7:30. I ain't in the mood. So, yeah. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. Yeah, I got my freedom. Anyway, I was like, yeah, I know where I'm going. Peace. So, y'all have a great evening. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat. But yeah, that was my day. Started off with narcissistic rant. Ended off with psychotic work issues. But, y'all, peace out.